Good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. Welcome to the Big Green Couch Podcast. My name is Bree, and I'm here with Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Central Carolinas. And today we have a special guest with us all the way from Rama Road Elementary. Ms.Biel is here with us, and she's here to talk to us about empowering potential in youth in our classrooms. You know, today we are celebrating National Mentoring Month. And all of January, we plan to bring in some of our amazing community leaders, amazing voices in the community to come in and speak with us about the importance of mentorship. So you'll hear from Ms.Biel, you'll hear from our president and CEO, you'll hear from some bigs and some littles that'll come in and sit on this green couch with me to talk about National Mentoring Month. So let's get started. All right, Ms.Biel, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Podcast?
This is my first ever podcast. I'm feeling real special right now.
We are actually feeling special because this is your first one, and we get to be the first couch that you sit on.
Listen, I know. I'm like, let me make myself at home here.
Well, thank you for being here. We're excited to have you. Of course, you know, with our relationship with Rama Road Elementary, it's been over years since we've been in partnership with them. And the program has, of course, been a testament to the positive changes and results that we see in these littles just by being with you guys and having that relationship of mentorship through High School Bigs. So we wanted to bring Ms.Biel in just to share her take on the High School Bigs program that we actually offer at Rama Road Elementary with her students, but to also learn a bit about, you know, how it's been impactful and her relationship with mentorship and how that has been for her in her life. So tell us a little bit about what you do, of course, and your background.
Okay, awesome. So I am a first grade teacher at Rama Road, and I've been a teacher for 3 years, and I've been at Rama for all 3 years. My biggest running joke is that if I ever leave Rama, it's because I'm moving out of Charlotte. So I love Rama. It's fabulous. It's a great school to be at. And so when I came in my first year, we were still wearing masks in school. And I was just like, it's a whirlwind. Like, you come in and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much happening. And I remember Miss Crawford, who used to run our Big Brother, she used to be our school liaison person with y'all. She was like, we need people to be bigs. Like, we're bringing them back after COVID. And so I remember that you guys actually did an incentive where if you had the most people sign up, you got a Starbucks gift card. And I'm extremely competitive, especially when it comes to Starbucks. And so I remember I would take a picture of the form, I would send it to my parents, and I would say, hey, I'm putting this in your child's agenda. Please bring it back as soon as possible. And I was just turning in forms left and right. But then as the year went on, I'm realizing, okay, this was so much more than just a Starbucks gift card. Like, I'm actually seeing the impacts from the program in my classroom. And it's been nice that as the program has continued on, like, those littles now are in third grade, and they're still getting to meet with some of the same bigs that they were meeting in first grade.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cute. And so just always doing my best that every year just try and recruit as many of my kiddos into these programs because I've seen the benefits and I know how good it is for these littles to have that big in their life.
So for those who don't know, if you're new to Big Brothers, Big Sisters, we are actually celebrating 51 years of mentorship. Yay for us. And what we do is we go out in the community, we provide bigs, or what we would like to say mentors, to littles or our youth to help empower potential, to help them see the biggest possible future, to help them reach their goals, whether it's academically, whether it's social skills that they want to adapt to, or just wanted to be able to travel and do be a part of new adventures within our community and beyond. And we, again, are so appreciative of Rama Road for being that place where we can find littles, we can connect with littles, we can match with littles to help them be successful during their academic school career. So awesome stuff. So next thing I want to know is, have you ever been a mentor, or do you currently have a little or had a mentor in your life?
Yeah, so I personally was not involved with the Big Brothers Big Sister program growing up, but I was very fortunate that there were a lot of adults and young adults in my life that I felt like did serve as a mentor for me. So I grew up going to a summer camp, and there were counselors there who I am still in communication with to this day and who have just really helped guided me. I was also someone in high school. I was very, very close with my high school teachers, and those women, I would not be here without them. They truly were the people that would support me, help me get through the tough days, listen to me, and just work through all those high school emotions that come up. So I always like to think that, like, my teachers were a really big mentor for me.
Okay.
And then just my camp counselors, like they were always there, and it was cool to see them and hear about their times in college and hearing about like, oh, like after the summer I'm going back to UGA or I'm going back to East Carolina, and like hearing their stories talk about college. And it was something for me to work through. And then I also have a big sister, like in my personal life. And to be honest, that girl, she's amazing. Like my older sister is just amazing. And so I think having her as an older sister and seeing her when she got into college, and she went to NC State, so I was able to go visit her. And so just being able to kind of watch through her eyes and the things that she has done, because she's such a powerhouse, it gives me something to strive for. It's like, okay, I want to be like her.
Oh, that's a big sis, okay? I guess your big sister, wherever you are, if you're listening to this, she's giving you your flowers. Like, so I hope you feel loved and appreciated, because that's awesome. Yeah, like, you know, just to witness someone that you grew up with, right inside of your home at the front door, and just to admire her. I know that what, you know, makes her feel good as a big sister. So she did something good, right? She did something good.
Exactly. And I'm like, you know, and I think what's so great about Big Brothers Big Sisters is it does provide these kiddos who don't have older siblings with that older sibling experience. And like, I know how impactful it was for me as a little sister to have my older sister. And so it's like, I love that they get to interact with these people who are older than them and have seen a little bit more of the world, and they get to kind of share a glimpse that like, there's more than just our little first grade classroom at Rama Road Elementary. And so I think it's just giving them also that like worldview, which I think my sister has helped with. But yeah, so I think that to me, like having my older sister as my mentor and seeing it kind of work in these kiddos' lives in the same way, I think is like incredible.
I love that. And so, you know, how does that transfer in your classroom? Like, how are you empowering potential with your students in your classroom based on your experience with having that big sister, right? How does that transfer over into your classroom?
Absolutely. So I feel like there's all different sorts of teaching styles out there, and none of them are bad. My personal style is I'm 100% leading with my love and leading with my heart. I will sit there, and the first 2 weeks of school, it's all about relationship building. And I'm really grateful to be at a school like Rama where that is so valued, that like those 2 weeks, you're building that relationship with your students. They're learning about you. You're learning about them. We're learning the quirks of each other and how we work. And I think when you lead with that love and knowing that, you build a trust. Right. And when you have that trust, it's like, okay, she loves me. She cares about me. If I do something wrong, I don't want her to be disappointed in me. But of course, they're 6. And so when things do happen, it's always knowing for them, hey, I made a mistake. That's okay. I can acknowledge the mistake that I made. But then when I come in the next day, it's going to be a brand new start for me. I think that's like one of the big things that I really try and push on my students, is that every day is a fresh start. It does not matter what type of day you had yesterday. I don't care if you left kicking and screaming, or if you just weren't having it. Tomorrow's a new day. Like, if I was judged constantly for the choices I made the day before, where are we going to be successful in life? Absolutely. And so it's like knowing that every day is a fresh start. I think it's a grace I give myself, and it's a grace I want to give my students as well. And so I think for me, trying to help my students see their potential, it's a lot of just knowing that like, we're human, we're going to make mistakes, but we have to own up to our mistakes. But knowing that, first of all, you are loved. And when you come in this classroom, you're safe, and it's a fresh start. And we're not going to worry about what happened yesterday. We're going to start brand new, and then we're going to make it a great day. And so I think that's kind of always my thing, is like, I always tell my kids when they're leaving, I'm like, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. And if I have a kid who's had a bad day, it's, hey, I'll see you tomorrow, and we're going to do it better next day. We're going to do better tomorrow. And then it's like, when they come in, it's not, oh my gosh, you're here this morning. It's, oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're here today. And it's like them knowing that, like, no matter what happened the day before, when they come in, someone's there to greet them with a smile on their face and a big ol' hug. So I think that is my personal philosophy with helping kiddos reach their potential, is just really focusing on making that connection with them. And so that it almost turns out to be a mutual respect.
So you know, you are a big, listening to you, right? You are a big, you're a big sister in your classroom, right? You're empowering potential through, you know, building their confidence, you know, their self-esteem. And I think it's important in today's world where children are connected to so many devices, social media, all the things that they're downloading, right? That can kind of taint their emotions. Like having someone to come into class first thing in the morning and see a big smile or give a good hug, like you don't know if they're getting that at home. You don't know, if that anyone's connecting with them on that level. So shout out to Ms.Biel for being a big sister in her classroom. Teacher Year of the Award. Like we need a Teacher of the Year award for you. So awesome stuff. I'm just plugging that. If it has not happened yet, Rama Road, hello, we got it right here. Now let's talk about High School Bigs program. So just to give you guys a summary of what we're referring to, the High School Bigs program is one of our site-based programs that we host at local elementary schools in the area. And what we do is for our community-based program, we have adults from different organizations and companies and just individuals who connect with littles in the community. But we also have an opportunity for high school students from local high schools that we transport over to elementary schools so that they can experience being a mentor to a little or elementary student. So elementary school students. So what we pretty much do is we get the high school bigs, the high school students over to that elementary school. They have activities. We have amazing staff like Brandon and Jasmine and all of them at their team that come into the school and provide activities. I believe it's during their lunch or recess time. They have allotted time for us to bring those bigs to the school to just spend time with the little, whether it's talking about their day or talking about their homework or just wanting to come out and play at recess, just so they can help them build that friendship, finding a friend and someone that they can find and build trust with. So tell us a little bit about High School Bigs program with Rama Road and how it's been impactful for your classroom.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's something I've gotten to see 3 years through. And I don't think the bigs understand how much these littles look forward to seeing them. I mean, when Mr. Williams with his big old smile comes around to collect the kiddos that he's getting that day, like it's always, Ms.Biel, is my big coming today? Ms.Biel, is my big coming today? Like they get so excited. I cannot stress that enough. I think it's great. And, I think you brought this up earlier, is these kids are so connected to technology these days. And so one of my favorite things that the bigs do is they come in and they just play games with them. And, I grew up in a household where I was very lucky that we would, on a Saturday night, we would sit there, we would play Monopoly, we would play all Yahtzee, all the board games. And I think it's such a good life skill for these kids to play board games. It's like, oh, I can lose, I can win. And what I think is so great about the bigs is that there's someone coming in. They're from a completely different environment, and they're coming in and they're mentoring these kids and they're having the life conversations with them. Because at the end of the day, yes, they're 6 and 7 years old in first grade, but they their minds just soak up everything. Like they want to be able to see the world and be able to do all these things, and none of their dreams are diminished right now. Everything seems so attainable, which is how you want them to be. You want kids to get that empowerment. And I think what's so great is I know when the bigs graduate, we make a big deal about it. The littles write notes to them. They get to have their own mini graduation. And it's showing them, hey, this is an opportunity here for you where you could also go do this one day. And I think it's just having that consistent person who's coming every other week or every week and pulling them out and just getting to talk with them and get to know them. And the thing that I think is cool is everyone's always like, oh, they forget things. I'm like, no, they know their names. Like, I promise you these littles can tell you their big names. They can tell me what they talked about. Like, it's always like, are they coming to see me? Are they coming to see me? And it's sweet. Like, I love that. Yeah, and I think it's just for them, it's having someone that they know who's going to come. It's not school related. It gives them a little break. And I think what's so nice for the grown-ups of these children is that it's during school hours. So there's a mentorship that they're getting during school hours. So it's not something that's an extra load on the grown-ups to have to take care of. They know that parents do sign the forms giving permission, but they're not having to drive them anywhere. They're not having to get them dropped off. It's something that gets to happen in school hours, which I think is the most beneficial of a lot of the programs, especially Big Brothers Big Sisters, is that it is during school hours.
And based off of what you just said, with them coming midday, right? Do you see that as an energy booster for the students? Like, how, say a student comes in, they're not having the best morning, right? And then they see their big. Do you see a transfer of energy where they're the second part of their day is I feel so much better, right? Do you see that?
100%. 100%. There's honestly one little girl I'm thinking of in particular, and I have her in my class this year, and she's really struggled. She's like, Ms.Biel, I don't like school. I don't like school. She's so smart, so sweet. And it's so cute because she'll get so excited when her big comes, and then she just comes back into the classroom and she's got the biggest smile on her face. And it's, for her, I think it's having that positive association with something that happens at school that's not necessarily academic related,
Yeah.
I think is so beneficial too. So it's like when she has those little days, I'm like, oh, guess who's coming today? Your Big's coming today. And it's like, you can just see their face light up. It completely switches.
I love that. Yeah. And then based on that situation, have you noticed any positive behavioral changes, academic success from the High School Bigs program? Like, what are some things that have stood out to you with some of your students and their attitudes or their behaviors or how well they do or interact with the other students?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one big thing that I really respect of Big Brothers Big Sisters is that it's kind of a 3-strikes you're out program when kids' behaviors do come up, because kids have to learn that there are consequences for their behavior. And to me, that is such an appropriate natural consequence. Oh, if you're not following the rules in Big Brothers Big Sisters, you don't get to go anymore. And so for me, it's so funny because it's that same little girl. She had an incident occur. And she, Mr. Williams, like, we reached out to the mom. We let mom know about it. And she wrote an apology note. And she's been great in Big Brothers Big Sisters ever since then, because it's something she values. She, as a child, is invested in this memory. She wants to keep going. And so for me, I think it's just seeing those little things. And I appreciate that you guys do that, because it holds the kids accountable of like, this is something I really enjoy. And these are the standards that I need to hold myself to be able to continue to participate. And I think in today's society, it is so important for that. And just to understand that, like, there are those natural consequences sometimes. And so I think for me, I just see the behavior with them in the classroom, knowing that, like, oh, my Big is coming today. Like, if I don't, and it's not something I ever threaten to take away. I don't think that's fair to them at all. But it's something that it's a standard. I tell them, like, it is so special that you get to do this. Like, there's so many kids who want to be a part of this program, and you get to be a part of it. And this Big comes to our school for you. And so I think just when they know that, like, this is something so special you get to do, because not every kid gets to do this. It gives them that investment in it for themselves. Yeah.
So have you noticed, or have you heard any feedback from parents? In their child's performance, how well the program is going for them?
Absolutely. There are parents who will reach out to me and they're letting me know, hey, like, thank you so much for this with Big Brothers Big Sisters today, because they'll get to bring home little goodie bags every now and then, and they're always like saying thank you. And that's the thing too, is parents are quick to sign up for it. Like, when you and we do have some English language learners who, like, I'll have some help from the school, and we call the parent, we let them know of this program. But the minute parents understand what Big Brothers Big Sisters is all about, they're on it. It's something that they want to be a part of. They want their child to get that experience, because they know that it's beneficial. They know that it's impactful. There are parents who have had older siblings, and their child might be the oldest, and they want them to have that mentor person. And I think what's so helpful is, I think it's important for kids to have people to look up to that aren't just their parents.
Okay.
I think they need that role model that is someone that maybe looks like them and acts like them, and just, has a new zest of life that they're bringing to the table.
I love that new zest of life.
Yes, that they're bringing to the table, and it's someone that is not the parent that they can look up to and be silly with and have fun with. And so I think that's something that I feel like the parents, which I've heard back, is that they appreciate them having that ability to connect with someone. Like, there's a student last year that I'm thinking of, and he loves soccer, loves Messi, loves soccer, big fan. And like, that was something that him and his buddy were able to connect over and bond over. And yes, mom and dad both love soccer and are very into it, but it's another person in his life who shares that interest with him. And so I think that is like what gets so impactful, is for the parents, is seeing that connection, seeing that their child has a connection with someone who's a good role model, is someone they want them to look up to. So I think, especially when there's so much on social media, it's like, no, look at this person right here that's with you. That's so awesome. Yeah,
I love that. So say, for instance, we had a potential school, and this is like a 2-part question, right? Okay. So say we have a potential school or a potential Big that's done their research. They've been on our website. They're not too sure on, if they want to be a part, but what could you share that you truly enjoy about the program that may, for that school to make that commitment, for them to say, yes, let's do this. Let's join Rama Road Elementary in providing this high school Big programs for our students. What can you share with that school or even that Big to say you should be on board in doing this as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the school, it's, come on, y'all. Like, this is such a good, easy opportunity for our students. And I think we, as a society, like, we need our students to be successful academically. But they also have got to be successful socially.
Absolutely.
And I think Big Brothers and Big Sisters helps with that so much, because they're having these grown-up conversations. They're using these big vocabulary words. And I know for our parents coming in on orientation, Big Brothers, Big Sisters is set up there with their booth. And it's like, oh, this school is not just covering one part, but Rama Road is looking at my student as a whole.
Yeah.
Not just in the academic setting, but as a whole. And like, there are other things my school has that I think helps a lot with that. But I do think Big Brothers Big Sisters is an aspect for that, because it's an investment in our kids as future human beings, future doctors, future senators, future teachers, future, whatever they want to be, future pilots. And so I think for these schools is it's allowing your students to meet people who are going to open them up to new experiences and have these opportunities that I don't think the kids would be able to have otherwise without a program like Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I love this. And if there's a big out here or a potential big out here that's like, man, like, I'm listening to this, what is one thing that you would say would be a tip for that person who's, they want to be of support to the child, but they're nervous, right? They're like, I don't have children, or I have children and I've never worked with anyone else's child. What would you say as a teacher, like, to give them that advice on, like, go for it, you can do this?
Yeah, absolutely. They just want someone to talk to. They genuinely want someone who is sitting there giving them their full attention for the 45-minute block. They just want someone to listen to them. And a lot of times, like, people are nervous, and it's kind of like us as teachers, like on that first orientation day when they're rolling up and they've got their backpack, and it's like, you introduce yourself and you say, hi, I'm Ms.Biel. I'm going to be your first grade teacher. It's so nice to meet you. And it just all starts pouring out. And so I think don't be intimidated, because a lot of times these kids just want someone to talk to. And I think there are issues too with being like, oh, I'm not qualified. I'm not the right person. I don't look the right way. No, kids just want someone to talk to that they can have to look up to and to have a conversation with, and to know, like, it's you walking in, getting ready to, Mr. Williams picks them up, and it's them coming outside, and it's being like, hi, buddy, like, I'm over here. I'm so excited to see you. And so I just think if you're on the fence about it, reach out to Big Brothers Big Sisters, because everyone who works here is fantastic.
5 stars, 5 stars.
5 stars, 6 stars, 6 stars. And so I think just having that opportunity where all these students want to do is they just want someone to talk to and have that one-on-one time with them. And so I think that's the thing, is like, don't be intimidated by it, because I promise you, they will find something to fill that time.
I'm sure.
Anything in the world. But I'm like, ooh, yeah, they'll find something to fill that time with.
And so as a teacher, right, we're talking about this amazing program. But beyond that, mentorship goes beyond the school, right? Beyond the school walls. And we have a program called Beyond School Walls. So what would you say that you see or you observe when it comes to the needs and challenges that we have with our youth today? Like, what are some things that you feel like as mentors we can step in and do in the community to support our youth?
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now the biggest kicker that is harming these children, and I do say the word harming, is social media and devices. These kids are so connected to devices, and I get it. It's hard. When you get home from work and you're cooking dinner and you've got one child screaming, crying, it's what parents have to do. And it is no fault of the parents. It's just the society. It's the way things are right now.
Yeah.
And so I think one thing that's really helpful is just when you're with them, it's getting them outside. It's getting them to go for a walk or have a conversation. And it's really focusing in on that social emotional part of side of things, which I think that outside mentors can so much help with, because I'm lucky at Rama, we teach a program called SPOT, and it's all about social emotional learning. School-wide, everyone does it in their morning meeting, and it's phenomenal. It's a great program, and it talks about feelings and stuff, but I think taking that beyond the school walls, and it's bringing that into real life situations, and it's exposing these kids of, like, if you guys are at the park and something happens or a kid cuts you in line, like, you're not going to throw a tantrum about it. You're going to say, oh, well, I'll just wait my turn next time, but if it happens again, then you're going to use your words and you're going to say something about it. And so I think for having the bigs come in is it's just exposing them to other real life situations. It's giving them a break and their little brains a break from all the screens. And it's just interacting with them. And I think that's so, so, so important, because, even from this conversation right now, I'm going to be leaving with a new mindset. And I hope you are too. Because it's like, I think conversations, it's so beneficial. And it's like, you think about it. When is the last time someone sat down and had a conversation with no phones involved?
Exactly.
And just talked. And I think even that for kids is so, so, so important. And so I think going beyond the school walls, it's just taking that time, whether it even be like 15 minutes or like 30 minutes. It's just like, and having these bigs and having these programs and looking at your local community and being like, are there programs like this available? Because maybe you can't come during the weekday because you have to work, but there are options for them to come after hours and do different options in the community to get involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters. And so not letting time be a hindrance, because there are opportunities for you out there. Yeah.
You are so amazing. I don't know if you guys have enjoyed, but I have enjoyed being on the green couch, speaking with Ms.Biel about all the things high school bigs and her relationship with mentorship. So what I will say is the one thing that I can take away from what you said was, and I think we can apply this as adults, is every day is a brand new day. Every day is a fresh start. And I don't know why that's sticking with me, because I appreciate you instilling that in them as first grade students. Like, that's important that we affirm them and we empower them at such a young age so they can adopt that type of attitude, that approach to life. So guys out there, if you're having a bad day, whether it's at home, at work, remember, Ms.Biel said every day is a new day. I don't know if you guys want to stop by Rama Road and you need to get a hug, but she is waiting at the front door for you when the bell goes off at the start of the day to give you that love and support. So before you go, I'm going to do the Big Green Couch hot seat.
Oh, I'm ready. Yes, I'm so ready.
So I'm going to ask you some questions or throw some things out there, and you let me know how you feel about them. All right. Let's put on our little cap. Okay. So put your little cap on. You are going back in time when you were like 6, 7. You were at school. You're at Rama Road. All right. So let's do it. So this or that.
Okay.
Recess or lunchtime?
Lunchtime.
Why lunchtime?
I like to eat. My friends used to make fun of me. I would bring my little brown bag lunch and I would empty it out, and my friends' eyes would just get wide. I'm a big snacker. I still am. I love to snack. I love me some Dots pretzels, and I would just sit there and snack. Like, my favorite thing is like eating my lunch throughout the day, but lunchtime, I love to eat. And if I don't eat, I'm hangry. There are literally times where
we all can relate to that.
There are literally times where I'm like, okay, come on guys, let's line up for lunch. Ms.Biel's about to get hangry, and they're like, huh? And I'm like,
what is
that? Y'all don't want to know what it is.
Let's stay on track.
Let's stay on track. We're going to lunch.
Okay, so subjects: math, language arts, or science?
Okay, math.
Why math?
Math. Okay, so I have a little bit of anxiety, as all people in the world, and I used to love the fact that during math, I could complete my math test, go back, check all my work. I would literally have a column of my initial work and my checked work, and I would turn it in knowing exactly what grade I was going to get, because I had gone through and checked my work. And don't get me wrong, there were problems that I was like still get stumped on and not know what to do, but I loved the fact that math, there's always a new way that you can try and solve it. So it's like even teaching math now, I like it so much more, because it's like, if a kid's not understanding why this and this works, let me show it to you in a different way. And so I love the fact that with math, it's like, I don't know, it feels safe.
I love that. Okay.
There's always an answer.
I love that. All right. So sports, or what I like to call School of the Arts. So that embodies dance, music, drama. Which side are you on?
I kind of did both.
Oh, okay.
So I was a big summer swim league girl. I love swimming. It's still my favorite sport, and I did that up until high school.
Okay.
I was also a big theater kid. So when I was in 5th grade through 8th grade and all of high school, I was involved with theater. I played some really silly roles, but I love theater. I think it's just so fun to get dressed up, go out there, you get to memorize your lines, and you just get to be goofy and silly, but it's like for a purpose. Because I think I'm pretty goofy and silly, and it's like, oh, this is the right environment to do it in. And I will always say this, I think the art programs are just very welcoming to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a really safe place for a lot of people. And so I like being a part of that community and being able to be that support for other people.
I love that.
Yeah.
So now that I hear that, are you a latchkey kid or after school programs kid?
So I did a lot of after school stuff. So big after school. My swimming was in the morning at like 5 a.m., but drama was always after school. And so especially when you got into that show week, it was always during rehearsals, would go until like 8 o'clock at night. And then even when I was in middle school, 5th grade through 8th grade, we were always doing stuff after school.
You sound like a superstar. Like, you were the superstar kid. You had the Rocket Big Sister. I mean, you had an in-home big sister mentor. And you were active. You sound like a superstar.
I stayed really busy. Honestly, probably too busy. But
now, are you doing any of those things now in your adult life? Like, are you dancing, theater, sports?
So theater has definitely taken the back step. But I'm actually one of those crazy people that have gotten into running post-graduation. So I've run 2 half marathons. I have a half marathon coming up February 10th. And y'all are going to hold me accountable. my long-term goal is to run the Charlotte Full Marathon in November.
And
so
you can do it.
Right here, I'm on the podcast. Like, I'm going to have to run it no matter what now. So,
and this will be posted everywhere. So we're going to hold her accountable. You know, we might have to pop up at lunchtime with the kids and check in. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so it's nice too, I think, to have that outlet outside of teaching. Like, you know, no matter what stress, like for me as a person, it's like the minute I just start running, the day kind of just slowly gets to be left, and it's just, you know, you get to clear your head a little bit. And but I do still swim. Swimming will always still be my favorite sport. It's so nice. I just am not as competitive with it. So.
And our final hot seat question, your favorite PE activity?
Favorite PE activity?
Whether it was a game or...
I'm trying to think. I really liked my PE teacher in elementary school. I had a couple because I went to 2 different schools. But Mr. Ebron, he was fabulous. And you know what I liked about him? He would divide up the boys and girls, and we would do flag football. Nice. But what I will say is he always encouraged the girls to not not be rough, but like we never got penalized for being rough. I think a lot of times the boys got away with like doing whatever, but like even as girls would do it, like we were able to get really into it. And like it was just flag football, but I remember playing flag football and having so much fun. And it honestly helped me learn the game early on, which helped me then later on in life to understand football.
I needed to play flag football because I know a touchdown.
There you go.
Hey, start talking yards. It's a different story. But
listen, I will say I grew up with a mom that loves football more than anybody, so she's always really, really helped me. Okay. But no, yeah, I think football is fun now, especially go Chiefs, Travis Kelce.
Oh, hey, you heard it. You heard it here. You heard it here. She is a Swiftie. Okay. Pulling through. Well, thank you for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed our first episode with Ms.Biel on the Big Green Couch podcast. Again, my name is Bree with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Carolinas. Again, thank you, Ms.Biel, for spending time with us.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed her. I hope you guys enjoyed. Wherever you see this, leave a comment, share, or like this amazing episode, and we will see you on episode 2. Bye, guys.